Welcome back to my barn for another video on how to navigate through Microsoft Teams. Today I'm going to discuss how students will navigate through Teams and more importantly how they will use the class notebook component of Teams as they work through courses this fall in pre-calculus. Alright, so just as we get going here is a look at my Teams page. I'm going to use my Pre-Calculus 11.0 class. It's the one that I've got the templates kind of laid out for, and just show you. So as a student, you'll have this open up, and you're going to navigate to. So once you log in, once I register you as a member, you'll already have Pre-Calculus 11.0 here showing up as one of your teams. You'll select that team, and here you'll go. So you'll see your channels down the left side, which I mentioned in my first video, and up across the top you will see Class Notebook. So students will come here, they will choose Class Notebook. We'll open up here in a second, and it will look, this is kind of my welcome page here. Now here's the key. So many times students will get to here and then they're kind of stuck and they're not sure what do I do now, and they start selecting things up here. The key is this little arrow over here. Once you select that, it will open up the navigation pane, which you see here. So as a student, you will open this up. I'm going to just make this larger so we can see it. Alright, so you're now in Class Notebook. Once you get in Class Notebook, I'm going to have the units all laid out in basically small modules or sections, I'm going to call them. Students will navigate to Content Library. Over here, you'll see Content Library. Select the arrow to open that up. And then down below, I'll have some different things here to deal with the course. So these how-to videos that I'm making up here now, they'll be posted in here. And then you'll see the 4 units that we're going to be responsible for this semester. As you start the course, you'll come here to Unit 1. Open this up. Now remember, when it's in Content Library, students can only navigate through here. So they're not going to be able to mess up the pages, move things around. They can only look at the material. Alright, so that drop down has opened up here now. And our first unit is on quadratics. We have a section on quadratic functions. We are also going to do quadratic equations. These are tabs. Just select this first tab. And what you will then see here down listed will be the series of material that you as students are going to have to work your way through. And you'll start at the top, work your way down through to the bottom. These are pages in your class notebook. Think of it like a big binder. You've just opened up the binder. On the first page of the binder is the video lesson. Before you start watching the video lesson, you'll probably want to go here to Smartboard Notes. If you select that, this will be blank copies of, so as I scroll down through here, this is the blank copies of the slides that I used in my video presentation. So if you hit print from within here, it will print off these slides for you so you can fill in your own material as you're working your way through. I really recommend that you do that, and at the very least, if you're not able to print those out, that you are taking notes as you're working your way through that. Now you notice once I come into here, my navigation pane is gone again. It's very simple. Select this arrow again and your navigation pane opens up. Below the so once you've got your notes or you got your binder out, you're ready to go, you're going to come here and you're going to start watching the video. I'll just give it a quick sample.
Welcome to your first instructional video for Pre-Calculus 11.0.
The first section on the properties of quadratic functions.
This video is going to...
If you struggle to get it to play within your version of Class Notebook, if you just select the link, it will take you outside of Class Notebook and take you to YouTube. I have these all posted on YouTube as well, in playlists for each of the courses. Alright, so I'm going to go back here. So you're going to watch the video, you're going to take some notes. Once you've worked your way through the video, please make sure you realize that it's not as simple as just watching a television program. You have to treat it as if you're watching a lecture. So you've got to maybe pause the video, take notes. When you see an example pop up, pause the video, try the example, then start the video and see how you make out with it. You have to be actively involved in the learning involved in that I present in the video. Once you feel comfortable with the material, you will go to practice set. So I've got here 2 practice sets for this section. Practice set 1 is just a series of questions from the textbook. So these are found in your textbook. And as you know, the answers are in the back of those for your textbook, in the back of your textbook, so you can find the solutions for those. There's a second set of questions here. I'll usually try and have a couple of sets of practice. Now, nothing says you have to do all of those. You have to do enough practice to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident with the material. I'll explain in a second where I want you to put your practice work. Once you've completed this, you'll come to this slide which says Checkup. This checkup will give you the instructions. It says to send myself a message indicating you're ready for a formative assessment on this section. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to a colleague of mine, Nancy Sherrod, who gave me a lot of the ideas as to how to lay this out so that students can work their way through it. So I thank Nancy for her input in pointing me in the right direction to try and make this blended learning environment manageable for both myself and the students next year. So this is basically just your instructions. You're going to send me a message. I will then distribute to your notebook a copy of a formative assessment, just a question or 2 that you will then do and insert into your notebook. As again, I'll show you that in a second. Once you get your feedback from me to say things are great, or maybe you could work on this, and if I really feel that you're struggling with the material, I will suggest you do another. Go back, watch the video, or send me a message. We'll do a video chat or something. We'll try and get you pointed in the right direction. Once we feel there's some mastery of this section, 1.1a, you will, as a student, then move to 1.1b. You'll just see basically it's the same thing every time. The video, the blank notes are underneath it. I may actually switch the order of those. Then your practice questions. Then you'll do your checkup. Watch the video, do the practice questions, and then you'll have your checkup. I call them checkups, which is just a formative assessment. These checkups will not be worth any marks at all. The only marks we will do is when we finish. So you'll go through this one, you'll go through quadratic equations, same situation. You'll then go through your unit review, which I'll have prepared. There's nothing in here yet, but I'll have something in there once the semester starts. Once you finish that, you will be ready for a summative assessment or a test. So I will get you then during class time while you're at school on one of the days you're in the building to do an actual written test, and the marks you make on those will be the only marks that will count. So these little checkups, there's no sense in getting someone else to help you do it. There's no sense in copying somebody else's work, because it's just going to then, when you get to the end of your unit and you go to do the test, if it wasn't genuinely your work, you're going to run into some major difficulties. So that is basically how we're going to navigate our way through the semester, and we've got 4 units to get through. We'll put together a timeline at some point as to where you should be at certain times, but it is going to be hopefully set up in such a manner that student A may be working here, and student B may have got all the way through down to here in, at the end of 2 or 3 classes. It's not necessarily going to be everybody working in the same place. It'll let students kind of work along at their own pace. Obviously, there will be a suggested pace that you have to keep in order to finish everything at the end. Your mark will be based on, as I said, the tests at the end of each unit. So you'll see there's 4 of those. And I can't finalize this for sure, but it looks like we're going to have 2 midterms as opposed to any final exams at the end. So we'll do kind of an assessment after the first 2 units, and then we'll do another one after the final 2 units. And those, so basically 6 marks will be what will be used to put your mark together. Now, as you're working, so this, I just have an example here of a student who has their notebook. There's going to be some sections in your notebook. There's a please help section. So if you run into problems with a question in somewhere, you're going to take a picture of it or a screen capture of it or something, and you're going to place it on a page in here. So I just left this as an example. So suppose someone had a question, you're actually going to go into the book, take a picture of it, and put it here so that then I can quickly come on here in your notebook and put some explanations and notes. I can use my stylus here. I'll just get that going. So for example, if you had a question here, then I could, once I get pen going, oops. And I can provide explanations, show you things, and do some work here for you in your notebook, which will hopefully get you pointed in the right direction. So that's what you will do under the Please Help section. Once you do some practice work out of your textbook or on handouts, you're going to come to this tab. You're simply going to take a picture of it, and you're going to insert it on here. You're going to give it a title so I know what you were working on. Page, for example, I might type here. You might type here page, whatever, 350, and you'll just take a picture and put it in here. I'm going to go through an easy way to do that in another video, how to insert pictures quite easily into your class notebook. And we're going to do that with a mobile device. It's usually the easiest way to do it. So that will go here. Then let's say you come back and you're ready to do another set of practice. Down here at the bottom, sometimes you have to scroll down to see it. Scroll down. Oops. I want it. If you scroll down here, I can just barely see the page, add a page. I can't anyway. I'm going to be so you're just going to hit add page, and it always calls it untitled, and that'll give you a new page where you can insert and put something else. Once you do your checkup, you're going to go here. So I was just playing around with inserting things in here, but you'll put a new page in this one. So let's suppose it's the checkup for 1.1b, and you'll take a picture of your work and you're going to put it down here. And then you'll let me know that it's in your notebook. I'll come and have a look at it and give you some feedback on how you did. And remember, there's no score attached to this one, so it's just a matter of you doing the actual work and hopefully demonstrating an understanding of the material. Back out to here. It's no big deal. Let's say you get a page in there and say, oh, I don't want that. You just right click on it, delete page. Permanently delete. Yes, I do. Right click. Actually, I just want to show you one other thing. Let's suppose I add a page, and I'll just give it a title. And then I'm going to add another page. I'll just call it scrapwork, again, just for fun. And let's suppose they got in the wrong order. You said, oh, I want this page to go up here. It's really easy to fix. You just hold down your mouse, or on my laptop, I hold down that left key, and I just move the pages around. I wanted this one down here, and it's real slick and easy to move pages around. So these are like the pages in your digital class notebook that you can easily move around, delete, whatever it may be. So I just want to delete this now. Delete this page. Permanently delete. Keep that one in there. Delete this page. What I find will sometimes happen is a new page, for whatever reason, we'll hit a button or whatever, however it happens. I'm not 100% sure, but let's suppose that you've got some work, so you're expecting there to be something in your notebook. So I open this up, I go to class notes, let's say, and then I come back to Checkup Solutions, and I look and I see just something blank over here, and students say, oh, there's nothing in my notebook, it's empty. Well, sometimes this untitled or blank page will just get inserted at the top, so you just right click on that and delete it. Permanently delete. I'm going to cancel it, or say, oh, I want the new page to be at the bottom. So that I would suggest, as the semester unfolds everything should be in chronological order. So section or unit 1.1a would start here, and you just work your way down here, and as the semester unfolds, we'll be able to see all your checkups and the feedback and how you did on them all. I'm going to have a general handout, so as the semester unfolds as well, we may have handouts, whether they may be just school related or they may be particularly related to the course, and I will distribute those. And when I say distribute, what I mean by that is I'll go up here to class notebook, and I'm going to hit distribute page. I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to have all of my checkups in my teacher only section. So you're not going to have access to these as students. However, I will, and I'll just go in here to unit 1 again. This isn't populated with anything yet. And I'm going to, let's just add a page here. And let's suppose this was 1.1b, and I'll have some kind of a little assessment here. Or let's say it's A, it's whatever, it doesn't matter. So I will just highlight, get onto that page. I will go up here to distribute page. If I only wanted it to go to one particular student, so in this case I've only right now got one student in here, Jarvis. I will hit, if I hit distribute page, it's going to go to the whole class. If I go to individual distribution, it's just going to go to, so I'll pick that one. And it's going to give me a list of the students in the class down here. And so right now there's only the one, but if I have a regular full class, I'll just select who's ready for that particular assessment, and I'll only send it to them. So then I'll go like so. I'll hit next. I'm going to put it in handouts, let's say. I'm going to set this up probably a little bit different, but that's roughly, you'll know where to find it. So I'm going to put it in the handout section, and I'll hit distribute. So then when I go back here and have a look at Jarvis's class notebook, so this is his student notebook now. So as the teacher, I'll have access to the content library and the teacher only tab and the collaboration space, but I also have access to all of your class notebooks. Now as a student, you only see your own class notebook. You won't be able to see, no one else will see your notebook, just me. If I go to handouts now and go to Jarvis's, so you can see that that one that I distributed is now going to be in his notebook. So that'll be there, and he'll be able to either print it off or look at the questions and just write it down and do it on a sheet of loose leaf, and then he's going to have a place where he's going to turn in his completed work in our checkups solutions right here. So he's going to put his solutions in there. So that's a quick overview of how we plan to have you work through and use the class notebook feature within Teams this semester. Hopefully it gets you pointed in the right direction. I know we're going to, if everything goes well, be able to use some class time to get everybody set up and rolling, so that then you can kind of roll along at your own pace. And the days when you're in the building, you'll be able to just use those hours to ask questions, perhaps write unit tests, whatever it may be, and it won't be necessarily used for me to just present you with material. You'll be able to do a lot of that on your own pace, watching the videos that I'm going to have inserted in your class notebook. Okay, so I'm just going to go back out of this now to show you. Oh, I don't want to get there. I want to get out of this. We'll go back to our Teams. Not easy. I'm back out of it. So remember, just to refresh your memory, you're going to go to the name of your course. Once you log into Teams, it'll be there. And I'm going to add all of you. And you're going to go to Class Notebook. And then the key is here, once your class notebook opens, students get stuck here. Sometimes they say, I don't know what to do, and they start hitting and stuff opening and they get lost. It's this arrow right here, which is the key. That will open up the navigation pane. You're going to go to Content Library, and then you'll start in Unit 1, Quadratic Functions, and away you go. Blank Notes. There's your video lesson. Practice set, practice set. You feel confident, you understand that material, send me a message. I'll send you a formative assessment, checkup. I'll give you some feedback. If everything's going well, on you go to the next section. And away you go. Down through here, when you get to the end, of this tab, Quadratic Functions, you'll then select the Quadratic Equations tab. Work through all of this material. Once you finish both and have done a checkup for each one, you'll do a unit review, whatever that is that I have planned out for you. Once you complete everything within this tab, you will then write a unit test, and that is what will count. None of the other stuff is all to just get you prepared to write that test. And that is how we're going to navigate through our blended learning environment. So hope this helps. If you have any suggestions or questions, please put them in the comments below. And if there's anything else you'd like to see explained in more detail, certainly, again, put it in the comments and I will try and show you. I do plan to show students how you can quite easily use your phone as your primary device for scanning and inserting documents into your class notebook. All right, until next time, best of luck. And if you have any questions, as I said, just reach out and I'll do whatever I can to help out. Thank you.